Hello there. This is a tips and trick video for the Mordhau horse experience. I will go over the basics but also the more advanced knowledge you need to know to be able to stay in the saddle for more than one run through the enemy line on the battlefield. Please stay and watch till the end where I will be taking on one of the most experienced horse mains on European servers. This will cover the more advanced part of the guide.
There are three types of horses. The armored and slow one in front. The medium armored and average speed one in the middle. The light and fast one in the back. Depending on how you want to play, I recommend you to carefully apply your strategy to the specific horse you have at hand at the moment. For my personal choice, I would select them in the order of speed since this gives you an advantage against other horse riders in duels. The speed also gives you better mobility, especially in larger and more open maps like camp, to close in on archers and range units without being noticed too early for countermeasures. If you have a straight line for your next target, you should also make the horse jump so it lands approximately 5 to 10 meters before you strike, since this removes any sound notification when in the air, and renders the target no time to react to the incoming threat. If you like the video, please consider subscribing, liking and hitting the notification bell. It is free and you can always change your mind later. My build is showing on the screen with a 666 armor template. I am wielding a Zweihander for both the range and the damage sake. Needlessly to say, when successful as a mounted knight, you will start drawing attention to yourself on the battlefield, with all ranged units soon focusing on your character who is bringing havoc on their team. Therefore I will be equipped with 2 bandages and slot 4 on the run heals. The perk tank reduces the movement speed on foot but does not affect the horses. This perk will also add extra health points, which comes in handy. For a beginner, I would recommend using a spear build for the horse. This gives great range and one-hit kills in most thrusts and in all encounters should your couched weapon connect. Couching the weapon although leads to the rider being vulnerable to counter-attack when the short couch window ends. This is the reason why more experienced riders rarely use this option. I have chosen to run a sword build for 3 reasons. Number 1, to even out the gap between cavalry and foot soldiers. Using the spear is too big of an advantage in my opinion. With the sword you will have to get in close and rely more of the movement of the horse and your visual perception. Number 2, the possibility to use the one-hit swing as a area effect, hitting several enemies. This can also be done with thrust weapons like the spear, but the enemies need to line up in a way that seldom occurs. Now watch this 4-kill hit coming up. Number 3, making high damage to war machines like ballistas and catapult that are serious threats to the horses.
Do the unexpected. This archer was probably not worried about a fast incoming horse on this platform, leaving him exposed for a backstab. Pay attention to the enemy horse's routes during the loading screen and when playing. This might give you a chance to intercept the rider at a point where they cannot parry or counter your attack. All horses will respawn after 2 minutes when killed. To keep your time in the saddle to a maximum, clock these kills so you can have a fresh horse exactly when it spawns without waiting. As a rider, you want to help your team by flanking the enemies and dealing heavy damage from behind. Be very mindful with your health bar. In this scenario I am winning the battle against the other rider but losing too much health from archers. Better to retreat and heal up. If you notice that your opponent will strike before you, and you are already committed to the attack, press parry or steer into the enemy to make them flinch and cancel their strike.
No way!
When charging an enemy head-on, you are always in danger of getting one-shotted. By making a sudden break 10 meters before you strike, the enemy will often pre-strike and miss, while you accelerate up to full speed and deal the finishing blow with full damage. I made 2 mistakes in this sequence that abruptly ended my run. Not noticing an enemy starting to use the ballista on the battlement, and riding straight into a billhook player with the ability to dismount the rider. Players on foot should aim for the horse to take down a top-tier horse main. The rider will surely have 1 or 2 bandages to restore lost health on themselves before your next attack. The horse health cannot be restored and the rider will be forcefully dismounted when it is killed.
You have my thanks.
Again. Aim your strike so you hit both the horse and the rider legs or stomach. If they parry you will still hit the horse from the front.
When facing top tier horse spear mains like Venom in this video, you have to realize a few things. They know where you are all the time. This means that if you lose focus on them, you will soon have that spear in your back. Their timing is perfected by hundreds of in-game hours, meaning a head-on joust will end badly for you. They have a spear, which means longer range than you if you wield anything but a spear yourself. All of my encounters with these top-tier horse mains has been all about either getting a drop on them when they are engaged in other attacks or to work with the placement of the horse to steer clear of their initial attack. And yes, don't think you will get the first hit on an aware horse main. You will have to learn the length the spear reaches and to be observant of any feints with the goal to bait a block from you. Let's see how a situation just described plays out. This is Venom, one of the most experienced horse mains and always wielding the spear. You can be certain of finding Venom in lead of his team when the battle is over. Let us see that again and I will explain my strategy in detail. Even though I am coming up from behind, Venom is setting the pace when the attack will occur. Venom makes a sudden turn and fully aware of my pursuit and position the spear is thrusted at me. My counter move here is to steer to the right just clear of the attack, which misses with only a few centimeters. My zweihand are aimed for the horse hits hard. I want to bring the horse down and get Venom dismounted. After the hit I steer my horse into Venom's horse to slow it down some more while my second attack connects. The rider goes down and is neutralized with a third strike. This is exactly how close these duels are.
That's on me. They say chivalry's dead. I owe you one.
Easy!
Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something useful for either becoming a top tier horse master, or just to improve your playstyle against these effective killing machines.